Hi, my name is Lomani. My metric number is 197763. Today, I will share with you a project that I have done previously in semester 3 in the course of IMD 3101, Creative Design Studio 1. The theme of this project is Design for Suitability, while the project title is Functional Souvenir. So in this project, we need to develop a functional souvenir for Department of Industrial Design, University of Putra Malaysia, which emphasizes on aesthetic, style, ergonomic features, and also function. In this project, we need to conduct the research before we undergo the process of idea generation and also concept development. And in the end of this project, we need to fabricate 3D models. For the idea generation part, the category of souvenir that I've picked is bookmark, because based on my research, the people are giving me the feedback that they feel like the souvenir they receive as corporate gifts only serve the function as a decorative item, and it doesn't have any other function in their daily life. So which trigger me to think, why not I will design something that people can use it in their daily life, but also can be as a souvenir to let them remind them of the person that give them the souvenir. So there are three subject matter that I use in my design process. I picked these three subject matters because I think they can represent industrial design, so which is suitable for my designing process, because this, in the end, we need to design a souvenir for to give people as a corporate gift from the industrial design department. So the first subject matter that I chose is lightning, because I think that the industrial designers always need to come out with the ideas in a short time, and we need to think fast like a lightning. So this is the reason I choose lightning as my first subject matter. And then the second subject matter that I've chosen is vein of leaves, because I think that in the designing process, as an industrial designer, we always need to consider the sustainable design part, so as to reduce the negative impacts to the environment. And the third subject matter that I've used is idea linkage, because I think that as a designer, we always need to cooperate with other designers and even other professionals from other fields, like in engineering or even medical teams. Yeah, depends on what kind of product that we want to design. So I think it is important to work as a team to generate the ideas. So which is why I picked idea linkage as the third subject matter to use in the designing process. So the target user for the product is, it serves as a ceremonial gift to the special guests in Faculty of Design and Architecture, UPM. This is the sketches that I've done. So you can see here, the design is mainly inspired by the lightning. You can see the shape of lightning, and then it also inspired by the leaves and also the idea linkage. And for this bookmark, I also made the holder, so it looks more presentable as a corporate gift to the visitors of the department. So as for the design features, so as you can see here, it is a bookmark with hook to let the user to attach to the last page of reading. And it consists of 3 different materials, which is acrylic sheet, wood piece, and so aluminum sheet in the design, because I use various type of material to present industrial design, which touches on a variety of materials. And as for the holder is inspired by the shape of the veins of the leaves. So it has the name of the department written on the acrylic, and the holder can be lighted up, so it makes the whole set of these souvenir look more presentable and memorable to the guest. So here's the mock-up that I've done, and also the 3D models. And here is the 3D rendering and also the product panel that I've done. And here is the technical drawing for my product. So as for the tips for this project, I think that this project is quite difficult because we need to think how what kind of element can use to represent industrial design, and we also need to think how to make the souvenir to be more memorable and useful to the target users. Yeah, so thank you, and here is the end of my sharing.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and today I would like to present about my final presentation for subject IND 3102, Creative Studio Design 2, which is the coordinator Dr. Raja, and the co-coordinator Dr. Rizal and Dr. Faiz. I was choose one product for redesigning, which is this subject need us to redesign a current product at the market that have a problem and not very highly demand for the production. So to develop it, there is given us 14 weeks to develop the current product to the new shape and design product. So I was choose vegetable and fruit pillar, which is have a problem on the design is not have the element of stylish, ergonomic and aesthetic, and the pillar is not very comfort to the user when they use it. And secondly, not multifunctional tool, not multifunctioning tool. People need to buy this pillar in separately, and it can be pricey. Third, high risk, probably of getting hit on user finger. And lastly, wasted. The blade will cut too far into the fruit and vegetable. So the design objective for my design is to redesign the vegetable or fruit pillar become more multi-purpose and good quality, to produce a safety product to prevent from accidental damage, and lastly to add some aesthetic stylish element in the design of the pillar. So I have done my development. This is the new shape of current visible or foot pillar. I come out with the firstly have a various type of blade. At the bottom part have three type of blade, which is can cut cucumber, or can cut apple, can cut any else of fruit or vegetable that have a different skin. I have convert the shape. I have changed the blade, which is the blade more safety, and the holder blade can adjustable. And also I have put some ergonomic part, which is I put rubber at the finger rest. Design criteria. This pillar of design consists of many criteria. Firstly, is suitable and comfortable for all ages when using it, because the holder is universal size. Next, it also comes with various of type of blade, which is not only for one type fruits or vegetable, and it will make the user cost more cheaper without buying the pillar separately. The design not specific in what gender, and it suitable all phase of age from kids to adult. The design and functionality of the pillar must follow what are the criteria should user needs. Besides that, the designs of the pillar also need to give deep impression to user. So this is my panel poster that I have done. There is a few color proposal, which is orange, yellow, red, and blue. So thank you. Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. Nama saya Muhammad Ali Ruhaimi bin Samsuri.
My name is Chan Xiaopei.
And I'm Huda. First of all, we wanted to thank Dr. Hassan and Dr. Ruhaisin for all their guidance throughout this whole project.
This project aims to design an urban wooden themed furniture. So our group designed a deposit racing coffee table. In the process, we learned a lot of material that we have never been touched before.
Urban timber ni kita boleh kaitkan dengan nature, di mana setiap kayu yang kita dapat sekarang ni adalah daripada hutan simpan dan kayu yang telah diproses daripada balak kepada jadi sekeping kayu. Kami telah memilih untuk membuat satu table coffee, iaitu epoxy resin table, di mana kami menggunakan epoxy resin dan kayu getah, rubber wood, dan kami combine dengan plate besi untuk membuat dia punya structure kaki.
So the reason we actually wanted to use resin in our project, because we wanted to challenge ourselves to learn something that hasn't been done here before, and it is actually a very fun experience, and we are very grateful to everyone that helps us during this whole project session. So to make this project works, we actually need to find someone with knowledge to teach us about this resin. We managed to find someone who can. She is Kak Ira, and she taught us from A to Z all about resins. So thank you, Kak Ira.
Untuk melaksanakan projek ni, kami melalui tiga fasa. First, fasa pertama adalah sketch, di mana kami kena develop sketch, kena buat thumbnail, kena cari idea untuk membuat sketch. Dan fasa yang kedua, kami membuat 3D dimension, tetapkan dimension, pilih material dengan Color untuk warna epoxy resin lah. Yang stage yang last adalah stage di mana kami membuat prototype, real prototype, di mana real scales dia punya size, dan hasilnya adalah sebuah meja kopi yang diinspirasikan daripada bentuk outer shape of apple, dan kami develop daripada thumbnail hingga ke last final edition. Selepas tu selepas kami membuat perancangan untuk melakukan membuat model, kami membagi-bagikan tugas.
So first we sketch our idea, and after we finalize the idea, we draw the design in any software like SketchUp, and then after we have the measurement, the exact measurement,
kami trace, letak dekat atas kayu tu, dan kami lukis ikut shape bulat yang telah kami design, dan kami potong. Setelah potong, kami cantum dengan gam putih. Lepas tu kami clamp. Selepas kami clamp tu, selepas kering mengambil masa dalam 2 hari, kami buka pengepit clamp tu,
and measure the height, the width, and the length to determine the volume that we needed for the epoxy resin.
Kami telah mencantumkan 2 layer, di mana layer yang pertama adalah round shape, berbentuk bulat, dan layer yang kedua kami tampal dengan rubber wood juga, tapi yang telah dipotong seakan-akan seperti drain, seakan-akan seperti ada sungai, mengikut design yang telah kami buat dan sketch yang telah kami develop.
So after the wood is stick together, so we sand the wood until it is very smooth.
Dan kami membuat mold untuk kami letakkan resin, supaya resin tu tak terkeluar daripada top layer pada table tersebut.
So after we put a mold at the side of the wood, we mix a small cup of resin as the first layer of the wood. Using a brush, it is important to cover the wood with a very thin resin layer to avoid any messy or like appearance of bubbles and maybe cracks between the woods, and give it a time to dry up, and put another few layers and dry it up again.
For the resin part, we use 1 container of the resin and 1 container of the hardness, and we will add a blue pigment and mix it for 12 minutes. This is very important. If you do not mix the resin thoroughly, it will not harden properly.
Selepas kami membuat mold tersebut, kami bancuh resin. Bancuh resin pun sebenarnya kami dapat ilmu daripada Kak Ira, sebab dia mempunyai pengalaman yang agak banyak dalam bermain dengan epoxy resin ni, dan dia pun telah melakukan beberapa projek semasa dia mengikuti praktikal di Pahang, tak silap lah. Selepas tu Kak Ira mengajar kami cara membancuh sukatan, di mana resin ni dia ada sukatan. Kalau tak ada resin ni dia takkan keras lah. Kalau terlebih resin, bila kita tuang, dia akan cepat kering. Kalau kurang resin, dia akan lambat.
With a heat gun, this process is very important. because you need to make sure all the bubble are taken out and let it sit for 12 hours, and the last layer is sit for 32 hours. And the hardest part is when we do the finishing, as we need to sand the surface until it is balanced and no scrap are visible and matte.
And lastly, we polish the surface of the tabletop and make sure that the tabletop are shiny and don't have any single scratch on it.
Permukaan dia seakan-akan macam kaca yang kita tengok dekat cermin ni kan. Lebih kurang sama lah. Nak bagi tips sikit, kalau nak buat sesuatu kerja tu jangan buat acuh tak acuh. Sebab benda ni kita buat sekali je, markah bagi sekali je. Kalau nak buat biar ikhlas, biar orang kata tu fokus betul-betul. Apa yang kita nak target tu, takkan kita nak main-main kan, takkan kita nak acuh tak acuh kan. Jadi kita kena fokus matlamat yang kita nak. Macam kita nak buat sebuah furniture, bentuk dia macam ni, tapi kita sambil lewa je, tak fikir pasal material, tak fikir pasal proses, tak fikir pasal masa, tak ada schedule. Jadi benda tu takkan tercapai dengan jayanya. Sebab kita kena ada plan. Kalau tak ada plan, benda takkan jadi. Kalau korang nak projek ni berjalan dengan lancar, korang kena selalu jumpa dengan lecturer untuk consult dengan coordinator untuk design development dan final design. Kalau korang selalu consult dengan lecturer, insyaAllah orang kata tu antara projek yang akan berjaya dan akan perform lah. Yang penting korang kena enjoy course industrial design ni. InsyaAllah korang akan grad dan akan jadi seorang designer yang berjaya.
In this project, I have learned to be patient because it needs to take a long time to complete it. And I appreciate with my group mate Huda and Alif for the cooperation to make this project go smoothly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.
Good morning, lecturers. My name is Celine Lim Ziling, metric number 198193. I am a Year 2 student in Bachelor of Industrial Design. Today, I would like to present on my project of IND 3202 Design and Realization Lab 2. The theme that I chose for this project is Fire Emergency, which is a building fire, and the product I designed is a smoke purifier. The main purpose of this device is to purify the air by processing the poisonous air and converting it to a safe to breathe air during a building fire. At normal times, it works as a normal air purifier, but during a fire, the ionization detector detects the smoke and turns on the emergency mode. As we can see here at the diagram, the top part is the ionization detector where it detects the smoke, and then here is where the smoke will come into the device. Here is the LED light where it lights up in red to light up the space for victims and firemen. Here, we have a rechargeable battery which lasts for 90 minutes in case of power outage. A high performance motor with 1500 Pascal of static pressure provides powerful suction to suck in the smoke. Here we have a HEPA filter, which is a high efficiency particulate air filter, which is guaranteed to trap 99.97% of airborne particles larger than 0.3 microns in size to create cleaner air. Here is how the filters work, where the fan draws in the smoke and the smoke goes through layers of filters to create cleaner air. There are a few functions that can solve problems during a building fire. During a building fire, the victim will suffocate from gas even before getting burned by the fire. Hence, this device absorbs the smoke which the fire produced. Also, the victim will fall unconscious before rescue comes for them. Hence, this device purifies the smoke and also have a red light indicator to show the firemen where the fainted victims are, since it is difficult for the firemen to look for fainted victims when they couldn't call for help. During a building fire, the smoke causes the victim and the firemen to not see clearly. Hence, the bright red light indicator will show the way, and the alarm will let the firemen know where the victims are. Also, the alarms allow the victim to know where this purifier is for them to stay there to wait for rescue. As that is most likely to have a power outage during a fire, this device has a 90 minutes rechargeable battery to power the device even without a power source. Because of their job as a fireman, firemen mostly have long-term health issues. Hence, this device purifies the surroundings to produce cleaner air for the firemen, which reduces the firemen to have health issues. A normal air purifier could not replace this device because it has low suction. So, when emergency mode is turned on, the suction power will turn to 1500 Pascal to efficiently suck in the smoke. Here is the function analysis diagram of this device. The smoke filter has 4 main subsystems, which is a fan to absorb the smoke and blow out clean air, and the ionization detector to trigger both the fan and the LED to turn on emergency mode. The red light LED only lights up during emergency mode, and the HEPA filter works as a normal air purifier. A rechargeable battery is used in case of power outage. Normal power supply can be used as this device can be plugged into power supply. However, during a power outage, rechargeable battery will be used to replace the power supply. During normal time, this device cleans the space, and during emergency mode, it sucks in the smoke and gives out fresh air. These are the primary concept sketches. These are the secondary ideation sketch. These are the shape exploration I made during development of this design. And here are the tertiary ideation sketches which I developed in order to solve all the problems. This is the sketch to show the final form of the product. Here is the final function sketch where the product is connected to a power supply by plug. The photoelectric detector senses smoke and the alarm goes off. The smoke sensor triggers the red light indicator on so that it can show the way for the victim and the fireman. A high-performance fan motor is activated once the emergency mode is turned on. The fan absorbs in the fire smoke and releases cleaner air. The buzzer and the light indicator shows the fireman where the trapped victims are. The victims should stay low around the smoke purifier for cleaner air and wait for the rescue. To be clear, this device is for the trapped victims which are basically helpless and couldn't find a way out. This is to reduce death during a building fire. Here is what is inside of the smoke purifier, where here is the smoke entrance and the smoke detector. Here is the fan. Here are the HEPA filter, and below is the air outlet. Here is a sketch of how to use the product. This product can be plugged in to power supply during normal time. When it is power outage, everything will be changed automatically to rechargeable battery, and it can last for 90 minutes. There are buttons on top of the device to work as a normal air purifier, and the cover can be twisted off to open for you to change the HEPA filter. Here is the 3D model of the smoke purifier. This design is made aesthetically so the user can put the device in their room or their office as a normal accessory as well. The design concept I use in this product is minimalism, hence it can be fit into any kind of interior design. From the top, we can see is the alarm and the smoke detector, and these holes are where the smoke will go in. Here are the holes where the fresh air will be released into the space. This is a functional mock-up. It works as a normal air purifier with plug-in cable. Here shows how the ionization detector works. After smoke is detected, emergency mode is turned on. The red lights are automatically turned on and it is battery generated. The device is automatically turned on to absorb smoke. It then purifies the smoke and turns it into cleaner air. The red light can brighten up the area and show where it is located at. This shows how the LED light is bright enough even in a smoke house. During a building fire, the trapped victims simply have to stay low around the device and wait for rescue. The device worked fine on emergency mode even during a power outage. Here is how a user can test whether the alarm is still working. Here is how you clean the HEPA filter after using it for some time. From this project, I have learned many new knowledge and skills. I learned how a normal air purifier works and what are the hardships of a fireman have to go through in order to rescue victims and save fires. I have also learned to put myself in the shoes of the victims in order to know what are the problems faced by them. Also, I have learned a new skill, which is how to make a function analysis diagram. I would like to thank my lecturers in the way of developing this product and help me to succeed this project. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Lomaning. My registration number is 197763. I will share with you on the project that I've done in IND 3400 2D aided design. So here's the project details. The theme for this project is futuristic transportation. So the objectives of this project is to manipulate the skills and experience of using several CAD software and 2D dimensional works. So in this course, we learn on two different CAD software, which is Inventors, Autodesk Inventor, and also Rhinoceros. And we need to display the skills and experience using the tools and appropriate devices of CAD. And we need to explain the advantages and the disadvantages of CAD software, its tools, and also devices. So the requirements for this project, which is futuristic transportations, is each of the students has to design their own futuristic transportation. And the transportation can be either on land, air, or in water. So after designing the transportation, the design must be developed and presented in 3D form using the CAD surface application like Autodesk Inventor. And for the transportation that we design has to be should have a minimum of 3 parts to be assembled to form our futuristic transport. And after we done constructing our 3D models, we need to render in the right setting and also suitable environment. And we are allowed to use the photo editing application like Photoshop or AI, the Illustrator, for realistic image enhancement. And this is an individual project, and we must use the CAD surface modeling software available. That means we cannot simply get the 3D models from the website. So here is the process. Firstly, I plan the design, what kind of design that I want, and I choose to be land transportation. And then after I briefly design on the appearance of the transport, I start the 3D CAD modeling by using the Autodesk Inventor. So here are the parts, as you can see here. So there are tires and rims. So the tools that I'm using for this project in the Autodesk Inventor is like tools such as extrude, revolve, sweep, loft, shell, fillet, and many more. And after finish constructing the 3D models of the parts, and then I need to assemble it as a whole. Okay, as you can see here, this is the complete assemble of the parts of the transportation. And after completing the assembly process, I rendered my transportation in KeyShot in several settings. So the first one is the studio setting, and the second one is outdoor. So as in KeyShot, we can pick different types of material to apply on the surface of the 3D models based on our need and our preference. And as for the environment, for this picture, I'm using the HDRI environment. And this is the technical drawing for the transportation, the overall technical drawing. And then this one is for the parts, tire, and then the exploded view for my transportation. As for the tips for this project is that we need to very sure, not to say very sure, is like we need to plan on what kind of tools that we want to use for each parts. Like for example, that when doing the tire, constructing the tire model, we need to think what kind of tools that we can use to construct the tire. Is it revolve or is it extrude? Yeah, so we need to plan first, and then only we start off with the constructing 3D modeling process. And then as for the challenges, I think I also face a lot of difficulties in this task because when I fail to construct the 3D models and then I cannot figure out the reasons, it's quite a tedious process because it consumes quite a lot of time for you to figure out what's the problem, and you need to redo the whole thing perhaps. So for this project, it is a time-consuming project, so we need to start it early so that we will be able to finish this project. And then the second challenge that I think for this project is because it is software dependent project. So maybe when you're constructing the 3D models and in the halfway your software break down, and you didn't save the file, so you have to redo everything. And then yeah, so it is quite important that you save your project every once a while when you are doing this project, so as to prevent the situation of your software breakdown. Yeah. So this is end of my sharing. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lin Ziling. Today I'll be telling you about the course IND 3401 Reka Bentuk Pembantu Komputer 3D. For this course, we will be using this software, which is Autodesk 3ds Max. This is a 3D modeling and rendering software for design visualization, games, and animation. Here we have a diagram shared by my lecturer Dr. Faiz. These are the steps of creating a realistic 3D model that you will learn throughout this course. First, we will be constructing a 3D model. Then we will insert a realistic background. Next, we will learn about 3D lightings. Then we insert the texture and color, which is a lifelike material. Then finally, we do the final touch-up. Here are some of the examples of assignments we did throughout this course. As you can see, it is a realistic 3D model rendered with 3ds Max. We will learn about all types of materials that we can insert into the 3D model, such as what's shown in my assignment, which is a glass-like material or car paint material. Then we have a realistic environment with 3D lightings. For the first project, we were asked to construct a 3D model of a shoe. Here I made a ballerina-like high heels. As you can see, I inserted the materials to give an effect such as a glittery, leather, ribbon, metallic, and the rubber sole. Then we made a poster out of it, which is the final touch. Next, we learn about video editing software, which is Adobe Premiere Pro. It is a timeline-based video editing software application.
Now, I will show you a flipbook video I made for an assignment to learn about time frame.
After that, we were given a project, which is the final project. We were to produce a realistic 3D product digital animation, and everything must be completely built and constructed by the student. We will need to build our own 3D models, then animate it using 3ds Studio Max. All the composition setting and rendering must be done in 3ds Studio Max, which includes the material mixing, lightings, and camera. Then we will need to edit the video using video editing software. For this project, I made a fire smoke purifier, which is a product to purify the smoke during an indoor fire. First, I construct the model using Autodesk Inventor. Then I render it using 3ds Max, adding in materials and lightings. Then I animate it using 3ds Max as well. Lastly, I will edit the video using Adobe Premiere Pro. I will now show you the final video. Here I will share some advices and tips to do well in this course. First, remember to take notes during class. You must jot down the step-by-step taught by the lecturers. When you are doing your assignments and projects, feel free to discuss with your classmates or your friends. For 3D software, we will always face errors, so it is always the best to help each other and learn from each other's mistakes. Then remember to always try to go further beyond, which is to explore as much as possible and never settle for less. My tips are to always look for reference online, look at how professionals do their work, and look up on YouTube tutorial videos for the step-by-step teachings. and learn their style and technique in using the 3D software. That's all from me. Thank you very much.